Right, hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're going to be actually working on the Focus RS. Now I haven't actually done anything on this car for quite some time. I've kind of left it in the garage. It's been fine. I've driven it a couple of times to a couple of shows. However, the car is showing a sign of an oil leak. So on the floor below me here, there's a little patch of oil. So I believe this is coming from the flame trap on the car, which is located just under the manifold just down here. So I'm going to do that work today and obviously check for any other leaks. I think I might be leaking from the lower sump as well. So I may have to purchase a new one, but we will take a look underneath and see what we can find. So here's the car in all its glory. Now I've not really shown this on the channel too much, however this is my Mk1 Focus RS. It's been driven a couple of times, however we're getting a bit of an oil leak. Now just down here, let me see if I can show you, one sec. Right, so I've got a torch just to show you, but basically just, you can't really make it out, but just behind this manifold just here is a flame trap. Now this is like an oil breather for the car. I need to get to the bolt that is just, you can't see it, just there, just make it out there. So it's just under the manifold, so I should be able to squeeze my hand in there, pull this out, and I've actually bought a second hand one because I think the gasket for this one has been leaking. So there's a bit of an oil leak down through there. So I'm going to jack the car up anyway and we'll take a look and see what else we can find. Hopefully nothing sort of too bad. Right, so we've got the car jacked up. I don't know how easy it is going to be to see under here for you guys. You can kind of see here. So this is the lower sump once it focuses in, and you can see the bolts are covered in oil, and it's not looking sort of too clever this side. If I can sort of come back here, the plug's not weeping, which is good. So it's not really, I think that's just leaking down from these sort of areas here. But the plug seems fine, it's just that these bolts are all covered in oil, so I think the lower sump's going to need to come off and be replaced, and some new sealant in there, because look, whatever was on there before seems to be coming off. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like bits of sealant here that all seem to be coming off. And the part I need to get to is right up there next to the turbo, so I'm hoping I can just pull a little cover off and wiggle it out. I don't need to take the turbo off, otherwise, well, I'm going to cry and you probably won't see this video. The rest of it's looking rusty, I'm not going to lie. It's all surface rust, but I need to get that looked into. I really want to get all of this checked underneath here, get all this taken off and powder coated, sandblasted, powder coated, you name it. There's my new steering rack in there, so obviously that's good. But yeah, there's a lot of surface rust on parts that need checking over. But the main thing at the minute for me is this oil leak. It's only very slightly, so I'll show you on the floor. So on the floor you can kind of see these damp patches, and it does sort of go to where the sump is, annoyingly. So I'm going to change that breather first, because that looks like the easiest part. I'm going to have to order a new sump anyway. And then we get this car back on the road. Well, it's on the road, but we get this car not leaking oil every time I bloody use it. The water's held, which is good. So I always had water leaks in this car, but now that's holding. Power steering fluid, all good there. Everything else looks alright, a bit cobwebby. Thought I'd try and do that off camera, don't know why. However, you can see just here, I've got the flame trap off. However, I'm having difficulty trying to squeeze it through the manifold and the cat and all the pipes. But you can see that there's some sort of sealant that's been left on there. Now, that is something possibly that I done, I'm not too sure. However, I don't think that should be on there, and I think that's what's creating the oil leak. So there is a gasket that does go on there, which is, so this is the second hand part I bought, and that is basically the gasket that should go on there. So I'm going to try and clean up my one, leave this one for the time being, clean up all this gunk off of here, if you can see it there, all that red stuff, clean it all off, get the new gasket on there and try and put it back, because there is no way from top or bottom that is coming out without taking the manifold off, turbo off, and ain't nobody got time for that. But you can see down there, there's the hole to the engine. Don't know if you're going to see it or not. There, that's where it goes to. So it just basically breathes onto out there. It's like a little flame trap. So let's see if I can get this sealant off, and then I'll come back to you. Right, absolutely horrendous job. However, I have managed to get off, if I can show you, all of the sealant that was around there. So all that red stuff is now pretty much all gone. There's a few remnants, but nothing terrible. You can just about see it there. But like I say, yeah, you can't basically pull it through here without taking everything off, which I'm really not about to do. So I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to fit the new gasket. So I've got a new gasket with the second-hand part that I bought, so I'm going to fit that, and we'll see what happens, because the other one's dropped down there somewhere and I can't bother to find it. So we're going to put the new one on, and I won't show you much filming of that, annoyingly, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to order a new lower sump anyway for this, because it's obviously busted. Well, I say not busted, it's just old. I think it's the original one on the car, and I've cleaned it and painted it and cleaned it and painted it, put sealant on it, etc, etc. So I'm going to try and find a new one. I'd like to buy a genuine one if I can, but obviously with the car being almost 20 years old, I don't think I'm going to find one. But yeah, hopefully we can get some more work done on this car and get it up to speed. You know when you start one of them jobs and you wish you never? Well, this is one of those jobs. So the flame trap's now back on. It was a bit of an arse to put on, but I've got it done, it's all good, and I'll show you that in a sec. So what I'm going to need to order is a new lower sump for the car. I have seen those on eBay for about £30, £37, something like that. I can't remember what it was, but we're looking at about 50 quid, I reckon, all in. Whilst I was taking out the flame trap, I also took out the oil filler dipstick as well. And I noticed on there that it only had minimum oil, so it's going to need an oil and service anyway. So I'm going to buy a new filter. Well, I'm hoping I've actually got a spare one up there. I'll have a look in a minute and see if I have. If not, I'll buy a new filter and put some new oil in there. I will change the cabin filter, but that has been tiger sealed down because I've done that years ago, but that could do with a change. Air filter, that's fine. Spark plugs I actually changed in a recent video as well. And everything else, fingers crossed, looks good on the car. So I'll take you down below and I'll show you what I've done. This is probably going to be the most boring video on the Focus. I do apologise. What I have done is, look, if you look down here, you can see all like remnants of the sealant that I've taken off of there. That is now back up. So it's just, if I point the torch to it round the top of the torch there, that's now on and looks better. So I'm hoping obviously that stops the leaking. What I've also done is sprayed a load of brake cleaner, so it's got rid of all of the oil remnants. And then what I'm hoping to find is that I'll drive the car or start the car up and I can see where the oil is actually leaking from. I'm going to order a new one of these anyway, because I reckon that's not long before that basically goes through there. And obviously, look, you can't really see it because of the bloody, it's so dark, but you can see all the sealant hanging off. There you go, look, hanging on for dear life, that sealant. So it's all sort of seeped through, the paint's all coming off, and I mean, they're going to round off, I know it. I've just got this horrible, horrible feeling I'm going to have to buy some new bolts for that as well. We shall see, time will tell. Yeah, and I've sort of cleaned off, there's a bit of oil over there on the gearbox, so I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Clean it all off, see where that comes from. Last time that was the rear main seal that went, so hopefully not that. So I've decided to work on the Focus purely because I've got the 20-year anniversary meet coming up at the British Motor Museum, and it's probably about a 2.5 hour drive from me here, from Essex, all the way over to there. Basically, I want the car to get there all in one piece, so anything I can think of at the minute, like oil leaks or anything like that, I'm basically trying to fix before I sort of go down there. Touch wood, it should be fine. I should get down there, no sort of dramas. Now I've said that, of course I won't get there in one piece. I'm hoping that by fixing those parts on the car, fixing the lower sump, at least I won't be dropping oil as I drive away, getting embarrassing looks from everyone. Apologies, the video's short and sweet, although knowing me, it's probably not, it's probably about 10 minutes already. However, I will be doing some more work on the Focus. I'm going to order up the other parts and then I'll sort of take you through the service that I do on the Focus. So if you're new to the channel and you like Focus RS Mk1s, then please subscribe. If you like Fiesta ST150s, then please subscribe. If you just like car content in general, then please subscribe also. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I'm not too fussed. If you want to see 5 things I hate about my Fiesta ST, then you can click on the link up here or up here, and I'll catch you in the next video.